ene me producer or chron bro for kasem or see evolution of Ghanaian music na efrim resantin ebesi ene no nanka ye sorry ayenim se twene e na nkrofo bo enti ye be shefa te se bakatwe ni homowo akwesi dai akwentu kesi ni de keka ho no ye ntwene na nkrofo bo enti ubedi asa na wode eno na asa efiri ho ya tinsem kunyum ma ya dane ni amani ma ya ba beti yesi high life ni firi ho yesi hip life ama ye di grandpapa ama ebinum hip life no kra ba ye no efiri be 20 years ni anase infi eduonu echire anase wo sisi firi ho ebu nkompo akọ asa aba obehu sensesan bebre asan aba wodie aye wode ne ede ene de wen sensesan ye ba ye na aso wani je ho dada no yebetumi akọ bibi afiri ho sankofa obi kan yebetumi akọ bi aba ye de beba be siesie bibi wo ha na eno ho nkomo na enne ye tena ase na ye di ye ba bi tutu nsem ni nyina sre ni abasa ne ahwe bebia ebe keka ni nyina ewie de akodru midin ene Shadrack odame ejare na sede amedi kanka ejwada na metena mu ama minua aba gagai masoma na kakra enti ento ankosi se akora masoma me ba obekwa aba na mia na me san atena mu ama no na ene onye nipa foforo se oye fie nipa enti no ono so yesma no mane ko sensu mane yeye me ne Eric TOSCAR na edi enwumere ejuma no Eric akwa aba da na obi se ye enti na me frɛ Eric na membo me fie din na membo wo fie din enti no menka sede
Kujobo ate
aha enti abusuafo me din ene nana kwaku da me jare me ne kwajobo atin ene ba bedi se ejuma ana aha ye she nkomo na se no me nyini no one thing na me pe manage ho eye enyom to anase enyom even though I mean growing up no oni shada anye de yen hanom no yen tisa brofo na efini mo fa bre mo music class ni de keka ho aha nti na aya na ene no ase wo ho ase eni ho no mo but we grew into music from high life ni hwan eno mo podi na me but even choral music I just found myself in choral me hu ya ni say kwa anyum kra eye me de that's another side of music but growing up na enyum wo de ene de way.
Okay, so I think that growing up no na enyuma na me papa on time if nti na next door neighbors omuna no muta nyum pa nti enyuma no muta boy Esther Smith me albums any Westlife any Sean Paul Shasha that era no that was a enyuma na mitia and nana mitati enyuma releasing within that time which is the early mega say 2000s no and that lumba kakra and nana mitati pa but now most Westlife Esther Smith and Sean Paul
Oni menji amesre nkrofo se sabe eburu sabe nya ado mpanyifo se utna ekurasi enyini a aya na osepro owi a osensua mpanyinsem kan but me growing up mantena ekurasi metilaboni however I think mine was even though I knew na minim Westlife ne de keka ho no I think I gravitated towards that lumba and na champion and Amachi Dede Kodu Entry. I don't know, but those were the kind of songs I even as young as class 1 krano and no money nyoma na me ni jimhan sana bimpo a maba Westlife dienim but then na yen share den hu hip life papa ne to said ya ye won ene na enhye da eni ho sa bre no omo ana omo ye enyom no what really stood out for even though if you sabre na wonyiye but at the end of man as a child to me can say ma sisanyum we ni nye de mepe we no we ni nye de mepe we no because me once again me de na mepe asanso nti na kwen free topic mefa beat wo airplane twem a mefa beat me hu se wo hihye spinners pe minim se obi awu minim se obi awo me oblinte mi gina odendende what stood out for you? Edi na ma wo tumi sisi like I say me pe as a child.
Okay, I don't think so. Me time when I want more options. Honestly,
Okay.
I don't think. But then, I think say, Niana, Emma, and ebe me there was like the users of it at that time. No, omo tar boy, and that's those who had the control to play the songs. No, that time now we are kala, uni controls the work. But you and say, wow, being young, to say, now you mobile phone. You can have access. A collateral access, or can a tablet and I'm wait to it download there. No more no pay. Saturday now winning.
No.
So near Bebo, near na a work control, near what about media, TV, radio, so no, and now be automatically. Only control. No. So it is that time. I think it's that time. There wasn't much foreign songs on our channels. There weren't much foreign songs on our channels. Nya na ta bona na were available no and na eti.
But me, I think for my side, na me papa or bag to say traveling bag. Cassette bi na na the pen.
Eshemu
Na wa wanya utie ni mu na wa da na echire na wa ti. I think he had loads of them. Nti ene na sa cassette player no udi shemu a utumi tie se enye no na ope a uyi free mu. Ebi nso wo hɔ ana ye de nyum be 10 ena egu so. Nti wo bo ana enye no a ebi bu a wo forward a enko. Nti wa utumi yi na wan akwa ani mu na wa bo ahwe. Say tape no so be a open eho ena ewo ana. But we are having all this conversation. I mean, I'm throwing us back to reminisce Niama Yenyan Sab, and even like you mentioned, how difficult it was. Yedi 80 in Yumuno, I mean, getting to listen to the songs. Looking at how far and fast we have traveled. And net the in fin the any ebia o nyini asha said the way na enyom for you.
Obia because in the era and enyuma no. Obia honestly. Obia because in the era. I have friends who are in their 40s and they are like hip hop no 90s to early 2000s no. And they're the biggest ish. And I'm like hip hop from the 2010s because that's my youthful era. Is the biggest ish. Obia because in the era. What you grew up listening to is what Nabeka say the best. Say unyi no now tatie usakra no now tatie yawo this year which is referring to Gen Z yawo from 97 2000 that's still up and you might hear that you say no because that is what you are used to.
Yeah,
that is what you are used to. There are some people more Ghana, they don't listen to any Ghanaian music, like they listen to it I'm not say they know but say over funny phone it's Ghana music la lie. Otibia UK pop, American R&B ni nyama. And no I cool man. Every time every era bia ni cool.
Okay, so let's put it this way. From Ashasi, we had the high life songs dominating the scenes.
High life and gospel.
And gospel. Which ones, high life, ebia 2 and 3, gospel 2 and 3, was your take?
I can't remember because me don't catch them say me can gospel as Smith when I'm able.
And a high life in so
high life there. We sorry record ya ohini besos you wow. And that song say me cast me kai me collaborate early 90s 2000s and no na enyumbia because like I enyumbia me say yeah. I understood it perfectly.
You didn't need an adult
to explain. Yes.
You are actually going ahead of me, but it's fine. I mean, producer, I mean him say, Sabre High Life. I'm actually they don't have any. Maybe a bit me afa ba ku mienu bi. Na yep. I want us to look at lyrics, and then their arrangement during that era, and even the beats that followed. Emma Yekase. High life, na a idea, like you said, OTB, you didn't need anybody. You just started feeding on it and then grasping the message.
Yes.
So I want us to look at Sabren. Producer, who will be Sawa? I'll wait to me about my high life. Okay, or say or sure. But let's look at then lyrics. How would you measure Sabren lyrics? What is your take on those kind of lyrics?
Okay, so honestly, with the lyrics, no, if I say lyricism, no, then and now, no, there's a vast difference. See, most of the songs, no, are quite trendy. It's trendy. It is trends. You pick it up on what is going on. Somebody can just, and they say medical releasing you be alpha. Alpha. Alpha? Share the link. Alpha. So
Alpha hour.
Share. Although I can't.
How far?
Alpha. Though, you know, it is part of that trendy thing I'm making. It is say and alpha trim and unit trim.
Yeah.
That is what I mean. But then back then, no, I'm actually did it to me. And you know, car Far Sight Enterprise. Kukumemre.
Wait, how would I even know? I do, but I don't know. But, I mean,
one of his songs, Far Sight Enterprise, Kukumemre.
But Edupen Oka was arguing
because they are
okay.
So I think that song is about 10 minutes or so. It was very
you were saying 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
I know Kujentry Nyumbi, I've forgotten. Is it America? America is over 7 minutes.
Exactly. No, very lengthy. Sometimes lengthy. And there are even time like bridges be more beating and choir boy. And even if you listen to the near bono, I sang Crawford to me dino. But you see, a boy and boys money space so boys spend them because technology aba. You can record songs from your comfort zone. You see, my artists a bit dorsal. The competition is very tight. First, no na which my because a privilege and yeah. But brands which my recording. Oh, a lot of
now
talent.
so benya baby I record the crowd yasem.
First, benya baby I recording. And if you are not good, you won't blow. Say media houses are adorable.
Yeah.
Mediums not be promoting you so
adorable.
Anything you can do can blow, especially with social media and cyber account. But
whether it makes sense or not.
Viral. One corner blow, just like that.
Hey, now make say they TOSCAR will pass. Me see whether it makes sense or not.
No, I'm not saying it. I'm making my submission. I'm not saying it. But, okay. So it is Sana Aban. But if you check the journey now, Aban from maybe if I say before in the colonization, if I say before colonization, and when you started, now I can say your board training. That is basically how said an
yeah.
In Canfobe has a jama with
a free logo beat from Adowa Kete.
Exactly.
Yeah, those kind of rhythms now.
So another neighbor. So say colonizers no buy no. Almost some instruments buy. So jazz, guitars,
drums, flutes,
kick on the buy no. Into buy enough yen ebeka ho. From the 1920s, 1930s to 50s or no, ekonna afi ye awefra. It was literally most of and na omo de no. But then na akoye to uniska obebo training power music.
Yeah.
Local. Yes, local nature ekra.
Na the free track ho.
Yes, near bo king. Oh, Scar, no between akọ classic way na akọ tie
sa we. Enyume free and training what do you call it? flutes, ni saxophone,
violins, yes, any guitars, any kika on, wakaguti. Into no, the na that time no more free, omo use we high life, we up a high life. When you are going to search classic way, now you can't open high life, and that is what brought about that high life
I like
music.
music. Okay, so it was now we the indigenes trying to produce our beats on the drum, no, produce it with other instruments. I mean, foreign instruments.
It was high life was coined from high living, like
High living,
high profile, because it wasn't make I say now two sections, the palm wine side, and then the one with the guitars.
clubbing for no.
Yes, and you must be a big person and I say high profile person to be able to enjoy such music at that time.
So it was luxury.
Exactly. So it was coined from that. So the songs na ne free honor ban was called high life music because it was meant for high profile people.
And then numpo na ye probably ni
Anyway,
Maxi.
So that time,
aha, iti mensa. Modern.
Yes. So that time na bands.
Okay.
Within that era, no, na bands to time a beginning independence, na bands and a neighbor, na iti mensa mo.
Yeah.
At time, they have something like African City Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's such
I know City Boys too.
Yes, internet omna bought that those kind of bands. Inti time we buy no kudita no buy no Nkrumah free power no. And then they went most of the bands went outside because some of the bands were also like they also played with Nkrumah like Nkrumah and their travel and all those stuff. Some went outside to US, Nigeria and Nyama. That was like the 60s, the 70s, if I say from the 70s era no. Into Omokoye no so that's where actually Afro song started from. That's actually Afro. That's what came with Osibisa no. But Omokoye and then there are some still here.
They were
still doing you know. And then that is when they brought in certain guitar rhythms it identified as high life, integrating our indigenous one to the Western world. You know. Until now, take some tin and as a young ponsan.
Yes, into that make us so then now it looked like we wanted to play the tunes on the drum. No, after the year the SA equipment, trying to use these instruments.
Yes.
And no, I they bought.
Yes.
So
first not everything was recorded live.
Okay.
Open, say I'll be guitar no live near the mic is used so near
recording.
Now say I'm mixing I'm another out. So say no I be pick a sound no. And I am so oboki bit me use computer the aboki no they will sound like you're born alive.
So I'm no use G sharp ni.
Exactly.
C sharp no.
Exactly. So that is when it started from that 70s on. So they were also doing it like that. That probably not pedumono. Some call Nigeria and buy. So they were also doing. Then in the 80s, no so buy. 80s no. Hono na abe way. That's when Burger High Life came. Because they be more kwabuche aba.
So pop music.
Exactly. Da fra because it utie that duma
did
utie beats now as a funk. But then
because he had also traveled a lot.
Exactly. But then they're Friday, you know. And that's what came about that Burger High Life thing. No? That limba ne away more that Sabre Jamunamo, that era. No? And within that same era, no, that's when gospel songs started rising. Because that time na kudita by JJ Aba Power. Nightclubs are close. Nightlife in here.
So you need
tonight church for na rising. On a Daughters of Glorious Jesus, ni Tego Sisters, money.
Susie and Matt,
exactly. That's when they also started rising from that same era. Started some rising almost so gospels that any we know if anything Burger High Life
no,
was
started
there competing but now Boga High Life phone to me nya much more way in sense of physical way no. As in Ubekwa sorry. Churches were still operating.
But now more hot and baby I'm moving out on your tomb.
Exactly.
And a radio so any hobby bri can say main call you cry make me the menu marco radio station
Exactly. So a honor waiting for us. But then that time in the months so that 80s more now so now reggae started fa kakra. Reggae started fa. That's when a friend is saying Shashamali.
But reggae wasn't ours.
It wasn't ours. Not reggae. No, it has had influence on us.
So it was imported.
It was imported into imported and I so yeah Crawford was saying who kind of liked it or have a way for interest in it.
Reggae.
Almost at here. General Marcus, Shashamali, Black Rastamo. Oh, now called Grammys. Oh, I don't Rocky Dawini. Rocky Dawini mo. Almost at yeah, that kind of way, reggae. In Ghana, yes, that era.
Because then we still had the likes of culture, neighbor Malay, reigning
here. So definitely, and when it comes like that, influence number. And then we move to the 90s. That is when American music having heavy influence on Ghanaian youth. Now we dress like them, want to be like
wearing
them.
the baggy jeans and then the macaroni hands.
Exactly. Now you started hearing to saw more. And then hip life came about, which was led or in fact created by Reggie Rockstone. That was in the 90s. Oh no, Lord Kenya Bradford VIP mono to the early 2000s. It was like that hip life, raining. So that was what I feel Abe will be away. Then the 2010s by Azonto.
Maybe answer na yebeko 2010 because Azonto no there was a lot of fuss about Azonto. Nankrofo say Azonto ye a confasa in among the guys na a traditional dance you use drums near them and now we started picking up those Palogo movements no because Palogo was mainly for daily happenings. Na obechre ewo asana osanimu so they used those ones and the beats modern day beats we revised or revamped that into Azonto but producer say wenya or say Pa Thomas wenya amati de ni kojo entry yenko tie bi yenti emu nsem yenti beats cause ye din komo nya ya no na edin komo no enti no ye tie beat ye tie lyrics emu nsem mo amofa futo film mo mo de bi ebo mo na because I think say no pe na enwum so am say ye be bo na Roman father sebi na obo ne na no Methodist father ginam sofo ginam presby asofo ni nyina etwa ehia omo betie aba ye ntie bi Sikaye moja. Enti eno eye Pa Thomas we enye Gen Z for nyom. Enti no bia na ye bo na enye ode but aha ena na ye fa futo aha ena nkrofo efa arehwemu aha ena nkrofo nya asema na omokoko tie efutupa anase they are bringing friend words of wisdom or encouragement. Enti ye hu Daddy Lumba ye hu no Pa Thomas. These were the kinds of beats enti na me se wian waso na tie beat no na tie emunsem na hwe se enne no ebi saa ewo ho ana ye free high life nim ye ya nantia bewura Azonto nim ansa na ye de kwa akote enyum no enti Eric yen to Azonto nkomo no so
nkamre po before Azonto no there was an era be a crank by crankness era na Tama Richie by Asem give me blow ringtone that beat no it was crank. I don't say Western influence.
Okay.
Yes, that era no that it was short lived.
Nti afei de na saa bre no yenya esi abrofo no kwan no so.
Exactly.
We were actually on their trade.
Yes, it was short lived, and then Azonto came. So Azonto, I always say Azonto is the apart from like with hip life era, no, from that hip life era, ABC now, because Azonto is the like the golden generation of Ghana music. That's what I say. That's my opinion, because Azonto in the bar, you know, it took us international. Boom.
Yeah.
Plus the dance combination and what they came with, and a lot of upcoming artists started emerging from that era. Because Azonto Ba, you know, that's when Sarkodie actually came. He came from that. He was a rapper from 2009. He was doing his thing. But then Azonto Ba, you know, he shot him up very, very, very well. Gasmela, Yausiki.
Yeah, Yausiki is now a preacher.
Yes. Creswado Munya, Bisakede.
Hey, but how do you speak about Azonto and forget
Gasmela?
No, not Gasmela Mpo.
Fuse. Yes, let me cover.
Fuse.
Fuse. Yeah. Within that era, that was the era now. Obia, it gave chance for a lot of artists, a lot of upcoming, especially from the Tema side.
And almost all their songs were favoring the Azonto dance life.
Yes. And then now I say EL also come. And then now, like we said, no, I think the Azonto era was the era that introduced sad dance and music trend, no.
Yeah, where we have to I was say as enyumbi abebe yenya ho asa.
Exactly. Enyumbi abebe I say yenya ho asa. It was that era, no. And that Azonto era, no, so it was very big, say that it traveled outside. It traveled outside. Even now we Nigerian stars scrap we.
That's why I want to you can't talk to me about Azonto and not mention Fuse, because Fuse, I feel say he paid his dues. Or do I say he's still paying? Guru Susukra Ewo Honomo. Because he was one of the persons, even though he was Ghanaian, you know, he was doing most of the songs abroad, do the dance videos. He would.
He's the one who actually explained what Azonto is.
Yeah.
You all don't know how to do this.
Yeah, baby.
Yes. Which it's on the first hit now. So now watch me do my Azonto. Yes, so I take right through this first step, take a step. You can move every step.
So, no nyum na actually said there, it was also Azonto, no? And that was why I was talking about the Kpalongo song, because that was the definition of Kpalongo. Taking a step to the right, taking one, 2 steps to the front, putting your hands in the air, whatever. That was what the Kpalongo song
the guys used to have this thing called anklo machine.
Yeah.
So that's where they used to do all of those things, like an event and Obano dance, no. So if you watch your friend saying Gasmeles about that way, show video now share sign and also Azonto now. That is the generation. I say you hear Amutum now. Yeah, it was that. That is the real.
That's why earlier on I said Dada sitting Azonto from Kpalongo into Azonto, no. Asano Dada sitting uchirem ewo twini enim anase enyum enim. Yeah.
Azonto actually, no, it had 2 different meanings.
Okay.
In Accra, which is like the west side of if I say from Teshinungwa Sabagamashi Okono, Azonto was known to be a dance. But in the Tema environs, no, Azonto was known to be for, it was like a jargon for Obawase.
Okay.
Obawase, Shashi.
Yeah.
That was
what it meant there.
Gay. Into Upa check Isako de Azonto be a Mesaka Nyanya. The whole question was tosify Lady Bianca.
He was not referring to the dance. He was referring to a caliber of people.
Exactly. But then this side was a dance. So a horror wuna tema phones be who yes asa.
Asa enye the amunim no.
Then one guy, he was under R2B, so he as soon to best say boom sego. He was under R2B. I think his name was Melodious and it was no way Ademado. I go crazy.
And I'm ready.
Yeah.
It was me there.
So it was like that. I say for then it became when it went boom, no. And he was asa. And then everyone started picking up on it and it started coming up. But then that time it's still not if you want switch uncle, especially on me hip life, no.
Yeah.
They
still wanted to stay in their lane.
No, they were still in their lane. They were still in their lane. They were doing what they were doing. They were
more in free.
Yes, but we mono 4x4 money man. They switched.
I think 4x4 didn't switch totally, but they put two steps.
Yes.
Into the 9 bakusi. Hip life na bakusi azonto. Yeah.
They infused it. How many VIP?
Yeah.
They infused it. So na abesa na echo. Then came the rise of dancehall. Na enumunus na ase artist be say Samini, Shatawale. They've been there since the early 2000s.
Yes, Shatta Abba as Bandana.
Abe Mukuhu.
And Samini so Abba as Batman Dada.
Abe Linda Nenyamano. So na gradually.
Obviously I won.
I won, but I reggae dancer era. Yeah. So na Abba. So in the early, I think it was from 2000 and I won actually started from the dancer when I'm a Sushan boy.
But no main dancehall era no. Not like Batman time man.
Yes.
Almost almost entered main dancehall again when dancehall was on the rise.
Or no by main dancehall era nim. Or no but that's the era by. Until I won money for instance Shatawale Stoneboy. That's when almost Stoneboy Jupiter.
Yeah.
They almost started to sell more bar episode.
Yeah.
Episode is from like 2014, 2015 or that's when they also started picking up that now after dance I started gaining prominence in but now Mukrapo no I'm tapping into Azonto.
Okay.
Because we take Shatawale in the whole gang Azonto.
Yes. The beat, even though it looked like dancehall, because we started the dancehall classification with the language.
Exactly. The patois thing.
Once it's patois, it looks like it's dancehall.
Yes.
But then the rhythm was
the basis of a genre of music is that
it was an Azonto rhythm.
Share music video, they cannot dancers now. Almost Azonto.
They were dancing Azonto, yeah.
I would dance with me that Azonto. No. Exactly. So they also came like they tapped into, they mixed it, they infused their dancehall.
So they wrote Omonante Azonto so at the ma dancehall no more pen APA.
Yes.
Then they carried their dancehall away.
Exactly.
Or along. I don't know how to.
So when they started picking up for them, then they started doing their thing. But then in between new papuna, still had most of the songs, some of the songs are not blown. It was kind of infused. Mechanic said it was damaged down for us because they had songs that were hardcore dancehall, but wasn't getting much traction.
Sabren, yes, I was actually coming. Sabren, it looks like Nanipa bebre and Sheda ena afena Gen Z for ne Afro eba kakran. Nipa bebre any NG reggae who Sabren ukobo Bob Marley ni culture nyum na. They could not identify themselves.